What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Satisfactory. Hooray! So on the last couple episodes, we finished our lovely new clear projecto, and we got 10 new clear generators up and running for a whopping 25,000 megawatts of power. Add in that extra like 1,200 we have somewhere around, and the fact that it doesn't run properly. And you get us a nice whopping 26.2 gigawatts of power. I think that's how it goes. I don't know. Not really good at the whole math part of this. It's all just funsies. Also, we have several layers. I'm talking layers. Sandwiched like an Oreo cookie, making us a wonderful, beautiful, delicioso projects and stuff and whatnot. Basically, a couple machines of each. Basically, I took the idea that I had before with, a whole bunch of, items being made in one general area, but I had to up the base of production so we could actually get a decent amount of stuff. But as you can see here, there's a lot of it. A lot of stuff being made. And of course, now that I have, basically one of each of all the good stuff being made, I can now focus on the new thing. Oh, you're gonna love this. Are you guys ready? Man, do you guys remember this place? Oh my god, it was like forever ago that we started over here. We got a little yeet cannon, all the goodies being made. Well, we are gonna work on our mega base, the one to end all mega bases. For those who remember before, this was the ending to our lovely, lovely last Let's Play. This is going to be our brand new mega base. But instead of just taking this one right here and kind of just, throwing it in there, we're actually going to rebuild it from scratch in vanilla with no mods attached. Which is it's going to be a bad time. It's going to take a while, but we're also going to be redesigning parts of it. But rebuilding this baby in our lovely little vanilla Let's Play, we might have to change some stuff because I'm thinking about switching things up a little bit and not basically going for every single thing you see here, as they did add some new stuff, and I'm thinking we can incorporate some of that new stuff in this build. But that's going to be an issue for another time. First things first is we got to figure out how we're going to start the build. All right, with all that out of the way, I bet you're wondering, what are we going to do on this episode? And to answer that question, oh my god, it's a lovely question. I applaud you for asking, but I have to address something. Now, some of you may have noticed before that I was an experimental, which was crazy. You even pointed out that they patched Tier 8, where there is no longer the hover pack that has been added to Tier 7. Whoa. That's not weird at all. They actually changed what you need to unlock it, so I ended up doing the hard one. So, the question is, why was the video so late then? What was going on? Well, that was about a month ago when I recorded that stuff, and I was basically putting them in order, so a video every Monday. It was gonna be fun, but now we get caught up. This whole video is gonna be 1 month worth of problems. So to understand what's going on, I'm gonna have to weave you a tale, nay, take you through a road of failure, just so you can figure out what the hell's going on. So, like I said, I wanted to build my lovely little mega base over here. Where is this? Somewhere on here. So, in this general direction area over here, that's where my mega base is going to be built. Well, 25,000 megawatts of power over there is not going to be enough. We need more. We need it all. So, of course, check this out. Did this lovely spreadsheet, had to go through so many different setups and whatnot, looking at all the alternative recipes, so we can make 24 manufacturers making nuclear fuel rods. That's going to use, yes, 600 uranium, which is honestly not bad. If you look at all that, that's 600 uranium, about 600 raw quartz, 600 sulfur, some crude oil. I mean, basically, we're using one of every item except for the copper ore, but, you know, we're not going to talk about... Actually, no, wait, because I can do a 780 line. Boom! What? So that is one line of each. And what does that produce? Well, that will produce us 14.4 nuclear fuel rods, which will give us 72 nuclear power plants and 180 megawatts of power. And it only actually takes 6,600, megawatts of power to actually run this. So that is a positive net of a lot of crap. And I even figured out the plutonium fuel rods at 12.8 assemblers with this alternative recipe. That'll be 720 uranium waste, which from the 72 nuclear power plants, that'll actually be the perfect amount of waste, and that'll give us everything. So that's one line of nuclear waste. Sorry, nuclear. And of course, everything else is just fine. We're using about maybe one of each one, so it's not going to be bad. I think the worst thing we got is some limestone, because this needs some concrete for days. Even with an alternative recipe, that is a lot of concrete. So this is what we were going to do. We're going to make some lovely nuclear power plant, but we can't just build it over here. We already got all that stuff over there. We need a new place. So I built Yeet Cannon. Well, actually I had Yeet Cannon before, but I changed the Yeet Cannon's trajectory to go into the stars. So check it. Now, instead of going back to our lovely little base over there, we're now going off to the side over here. And I bet you're wondering, well, what's over there? Oh, that is the swamp. The swamp of deadliness is where we're going to be building our stuff. So this lovely beauty over here is where I will be building my nuclear power plant. Oh, the brand new one anyway. And to start my nuclear power plant, what I need is some power. So, as you can see over there in the corner, I've brought a whole bunch of stuff with me, because what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of these nice resource wells, probably like right here or whatnot, and that's going to produce us some oil. If you look over here in the map, I'll zoom in real close for you like. So we can use all this to make fuel, and this will power everything that we need, until we bring power from our other stuff all the way over here. Doom. Hell yeah. And at this point, everything's looking good. We got this lovely refinery making 2 fuel gens. You know, everything I need is brought over here. Even have a return Yeet Cannon, so I can go home when I need to. And all I need to do is start building. I even brought a whole bunch of material. Well, not really, but space for material. Got a bunch of crap over here, so who knows. So now I need to start building things, right? Should be easy. Just start building. What could possibly go wrong? All right, so here's where we go. Step number 1. Okay, everything's not looking too bad. We got a nice little setup right here. We even have room underneath for everything to come in through there. I even built this whole beautiful setup underneath here. Look at this. It's gorgeous. Even have enough so I can fly around here. And best of all, look at this room. I can actually build a water extractor. Oh, wait, I can't, because I messed that up. It's not even tall enough for that. So this was kind of failing, but at the time I was like, oh my god, this is so great. I can fly under here and look at all the pretty stuff. So everything at this point, everything was looking good. I was proud. I was looking great. And it can fit a lovely 36 nuclear power plants. But of course, if I double them up, it won't be a problem. They'll be twice as tall. Aw, things are looking good. Check this bad boy out. We have, I kid you not, 36 nuclear power plants. And at this point, I feel like I was doing good. Everything was looking actually pretty dope. I mean, the only problem that I had is some overlays where they were hanging off the edge and whatnot, and then Definitely gonna have to figure out how to get like any of the belts to fit in anyone here, but definitely had plenty of room to work with. Or so I thought till I looked down here. Yep, this was all the room that we had to build with. And unfortunately, this was not enough. For if you recall, the spreadsheet of doom, just the 24 manufacturers alone was going to take up so much space. So all this had to be scratched and rebuilt. And to put this in perspective, to build this whole grand monstrosity, mind you, without mods, none of this was modded, was a whopping 10 hours. But as you can see right here, as we go to the next one, you will see how the rebuild went. And welcome back to version 2.0 of our massive nuclear power plant. Look at this baby. We had all the imports going in there into the center, and this was going to be ready so we can make nuclear stuff as well as plutonium. We had all the pipes on the side for the oil as well as the, oh god, what was it called? Nitrogen. Oh, we had all that stuff. We even had all this stuff built on the top on how we were going to set them up. This was just like a kind of like precursor to what was going on. And then I mapped out the plan, the size, the general scale of what we needed. Even started working on some of the interior, only to not like it. So the general size, I think, is way too much. It's literally a huge, giant square in the middle of nowhere. The interior was not too bad. I did kind of like how I had like I did like how I had the bridge coming in and then ramping up into a nice little general area. And of course, we were probably going to have this going up basically 2 foundations tall. So that way, if I had any belts underneath here, I could basically go over and around them. So they didn't kind of have like this nice little squish space down here. Because initially everything was supposed to come in, and then it was basically going to delete the floor, and then wherever the stuff is, it would basically come in through the floor, and then go back into the floor, and basically go anywhere it needs to go. So all the belts would be hidden. But this didn't tend to work out. Unfortunately, it was it was a lot of problems. But it did change dramatically. Are you ready for this change? Dun 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 dun. So basically, changed up the entrance. It looks so grand, so nice. Everything's looking really good. And then I added in train station. So basically, I was going to take the stuff that was across the map, dun 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 dun, and then make a train station in like one general location, bring all that stuff there into the train station, and bring the train station in. And then have it unloaded and basically breaking down into machine. The only problem is, not only is the amount of machines massive as hell, like I'm not understanding, this is not even a fraction of the spreadsheet. This is like maybe not even a tenth of the spreadsheet. This is like 2 setups or something like that. We still need like, I think 72 assemblers making silica or something like that. It's insane. Insane. But we still need so much more to go, not to mention building layers upon layers to get all this stuff in here. So alas, this wasn't the best decision, but it looked nice, I think. And to put this in perspective, 10 hours was for the initial build of that last one. This one is up to 15 hours separately. So we're already up to 25 hours with the both of them. Oh my god, it was interesting to say the least. So with everything being said and done, everything over here in the lovely swamp area has been scrapped. Yes, unfortunately, building over there was a kind of a bad idea, especially for all the stuff that was coming in there. So I decided that instead, why not expand on what we already have? See, this looks really good over here. Everything looks amazing. But I thought to myself, what if, all right, check this out. Those like weirdly perfectly timed. What if we build behind it? What if I expanded out on this and made even more nuclear power plants on the other side? And that's when I started working on version 3. So my first idea was to actually just expand on the building and then make it curved around, just pretty much like a nice curve going on here. All right, and then I was gonna add like nice water generators in the middle, so all these water extractors or whatnot basically would just be made in the middle over here, going all the way across and whatnot. But alas, this did not work out too well either. Unfortunately, I did not like the design because it was too simplistic. It looks more like a box. Not a big fan of the box. One of the nice things about this setup that we got over here is the different tier levels, so it gives us a nice little variety, even though it's just like one basically giant T. But it also has sections like this where it has like a slice cut right into it, so it kind of gives it a little more oomph to it, and it's not just, you know, delegated to a giant square. Oh man, with all the lights and everything, things tend to get a little bit hazy. It's probably all the nuclear buildup after all this time, because these little bad boys over here, they're going nuts. So that's when I got the idea to build the giant, well, cross. The idea would be basically making a bunch of nuclear power plants going here, and then going to another tier, and making some more, another tier, and it looks like a giant building in the center. So at this point, and a little bit earlier, I decided, well, I'm sick and tired of building things, destroying them, and then building them again in vanilla, so we started using mods. So the idea is that what I would do is I would go in, and I would take, let's say I'm taking my nuclear power plant, all right? And I would basically build everything at no cost, whatever, make sure everything works as a proof of concept, then load into vanilla and basically rebuild it in vanilla where basically there's nothing here, but I know exactly what to do. So that was the point where we were at. So yeah, building a nuclear power plant out of a giant X is going to be really easy. But what if, all right, follow me on this one. What if we built it out of a giant symbol? A symbol known far and wide. A symbol feared by all those who see it. And I'm not talking about the Green Lantern symbol. What if we built a giant nuclear power plant out of the biohazard symbol? Oh my god, this thing was insane to build. Making sure everything was correct and done right. Oh, it took so much time to build this and make it look decent. Not even correct, decent. But alas, this will not work. I've tested it. It just won't work. But imagine that as a building. We were thinking of making these circles around here pipes. It would have been so cool if it was possible. But if you could do it, definitely leave it down in the comment section if you could do it and show us. You could show me in my Discord or whatnot, link to a video. I don't care. I'll watch it because this would be amazing. But alas, the biohazard was thrown in the garbage as we tried to make this work. And for the most part, it does. I love the fact that we have like these nice little water extractors right here. Oh my god, they look beautiful, having them go in a straight line. Even love the fact of having all the power lines coming down here and then going straight across because, you know, water and electricity work out super well. Then, of course, I had to go up, and then it was going to come all the way down and go into the center, and the center was going to bring it up and bring it down the line. And this was just a little proof of concept to show that it works, how I would set up all the belts. By the way, I love setting up these belts because what I did, sorry, it's a little hard to see after the fact, but I built a wall mount being hung on this nice little pillar top, and then just dragged a line going all the way across, and then of course added a merger on there right where it needed to go. Now the splitters, on the other hand, well, that's a little bit more difficult on how to figure that one out. But I do have them coming in through the center. And then, of course, they were going to be split off, and then I'd have boom, 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 1, 2, 3, 4 for all these lovely nuclear power plants. And the most part, it works really well, has plenty of space and plenty of ways to go. But I don't know, something about it just bugged me. I didn't like it, but luckily I built this in creative. So before I continued with it, to test it out to make sure everything was good, I figured out a better plan. The final plan. Don't worry, everybody. This is the final one. This is the final one. But to understand it, we have to go back to the beginning. Oh, look at that beautiful frame rate. So, welcome back to my original world from season 1, where I had all this lovely stuff being, I mean, built is a strong word. But as you can see here, this was my original mega base back in the day. But if we look over to yonder, you can see a nice nuclear power plant in the distance. So back in the day, this lovely monstrosity, nicknamed the Tower of Power. Or no, the Pyramid of Power. Wasn't that it? Power Pyramid? I don't know. As you can see, it had quite a many wonderful water needing to go to it, and this lovely monstrosity was to take just every power node and make something out of it, and it was tremendously a big, well, it's a big pain in the butt, to say the least on it. But this right here, the idea behind it, how it looks and everything, has given me an amazing idea on how to build my new nuclear power plant. First of all, I'm definitely going to use this. This was one of the most amazing things that I loved. Having this symmetry right here in the front was truly, truly good. Is something attacking me? Oh! Sucks to be you. Oh, it's gonna kill me. So basically having this stuff, I'm definitely gonna keep. I want to keep the pyramid idea of it, but we're not gonna build it the way that we built it like this. Unfortunately, when we did build it like this, there wasn't too much room. Oh wait, there was room. There was a lot of room in here. Why did I get rid of this then? Oh, maybe there wasn't enough room. I mean, just think about once we... Oh my god. That's all the different water pipes that are coming in here. This is insane. But yes, this is the general idea where we have a nice pyramid worth of space in here. And basically, we're going to use that to our advantage. So with this in mind, let me show you what I've done. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Look at this. So this is how I was going to design the original start to it. Now I could have showed you some like in-between shots, but I trust me, I think this is enough to understand the insanity that we were going for. So first off, we have, let's see, 9 lovely water. So we have 600 lines of water times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, so of course we have 9 times 8 times 600 as 43,000 gallons of water, or cubic meters, whatever. And we have water for days. Every single thing that needs water will have plenty to choose from. And of course, I did not need to go this intense with it, but I did. Now, I was thinking about putting lights underneath here, but I'm currently thinking against it. See, the one reason I'm not thinking of lights is if we do lights that are going under here, sure to look great. Once we build all the stuff on the top, it'll be a FPS sink. I mean, it's already a water sink, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, so we have a walkway going around the edge on this side and that side, as well as we're going to have everything for going up. So if you want to go up, you would just go in a corner, and that would take you to the height of it. As you can see, it's just a flat line right now. But this would be the giant pyramid of power. Oh my god. So now all I have to do is rebuild everything you see here in vanilla. So I just tested this out, see how it would look, put it all in there, and oh, it looks so glorious. Everything purposely made. Of course, I'd probably go back into this. I'd probably add like more walls and stuff around here. You know, all the different stuff. Maybe lights? We'll see. But anyway, this bottom part here, I feel like this is perfectly set up, ready to go for everything that we want. Everything is looking good. I'm thinking this is like pretty much set to start building. So I'm gonna have to grab plenty, and I mean plenty of radiation suits, because as you get close to here, it's kind of, well, it's kind of a death trap. But basically, look at this monstrosity. This is what we're gonna go for. And the way that I have this set up is I'm going to have drones bring in all the product from around the world, or around this area, bring them into each one of these little corners right here, and separate it all out however it needs to go in the whole setup. Because I want to keep this basically separate, with the only thing is going to be a line for the bridge going all the way across. Because as you can see right here, having the stuff coming in on the bridge, it's fine until you have to have that stuff separated, and then it kind of looks a little weird. So we'll figure out how to do that. The only problem is I might have to get rid of this guy right here, because this will literally be... Wait, you don't even understand. We've changed the idea of what we're gonna do. So, just to show you, this is the nuclear fuel rod setup with 24 manufacturers. Now, this is a pure 600 line of uranium, and it'll give us 72 power plants. But there's actually an easier design using the manufacturers, using the basic recipe. Why did I not save that as basic recipe? There we go, that's much better. But actually, there is a basic design for the original recipe, which only uses encased uranium cells, electromagnetic control rods, and encased industrial beams. Now, granted, this will make less, and with the blender recipe, instead of using the manufacturer recipe, we're also going to be using more uranium. But we're not going to be using that much more product versus how much product we're going to be using for the original one. So as you can see here, I'm using... Oh yeah, that's right. Because we're not just making 72 power plants anymore. We're upping it to 100 power plants. A cool 250,000 megawatts of power. Now, the only issues that we're going to have running into this is, of course, the uranium, the sulfur. Coal is not going to be a problem. There's plenty of coal on the map. Water. Water. Silly. Copper, caterium, all that stuff. Everything is pretty easy. There's plenty of limestone, plenty of iron. All this stuff on the map, easy to get to, won't be an issue. And I even looked into making 24 manufacturers, making plutonium fuel rods. That is going to take 1,012.5 uranium waste. We'll be making 1,000 uranium waste with this, which is insane to think about. But even more insane when you realize that we're going to need about, where is it right here? 1,600 nitrogen gas, which is actually only one node, mind you. So that's actually not too bad. Between the packaging and unpackaging of that, won't be so bad, because basically it takes this, divides it by 4, that's how much it's going to be in packaging, and then basically splits it out into 4 when it goes back in. Easy peasy, no problem. Sure, we're going to have to add packagers to the list, but in the grand scheme of things, not a problem. Same thing with the crude oil. I mean, come on, 300 crude oil in a packager? not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. So with that being said, the start of the brand new nuclear power plant is underway. This is going to give us enough power for the rest of the game. There is nothing more that we need to do. Once this is set up, it'll be a fully combined system, and it'll get rid of all the nuclear waste we have. It'll be amazing. But that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to start rebuilding this in vanilla, so that way when I come back to it, it'll all be vanilla playthrough, and then I'll test out the other stuff with mods. It's been really great actually building stuff with mods, seeing how it looks, and then going back and then rebuilding it in vanilla. It might seem like it takes more time, but it actually takes less time. We're actually saving time on there, which is insane to think about, building it twice to save time. Because actually I'm able to build it, test it out, see what looks good, and when I change my mind, which if you know anything about me, I tend to do that a lot, then you know this kind of stuff is it's par for the course. But anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining me, and you're now caught up. We're literally right where I am now in the playthrough. So anyway, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.